Hello, Uncommon Fossil. Today, I want to talk about the Roaring Moon EX deck that we get on the basic battle pass. This is the build you get at tier 0, and it's okay, is what I'll say. When I did the Goldingo deck recently, and that tier 0 build is not good, is what I have to say, but this is okay. Obviously, it needs to get optimized, and it will as I progress up the ladder. And such, but it is playable the way it is. So let's talk about the pieces and how it all works together here. So Roaring Moon EX, that's what the deck's called, so that's what it's built around, right? 2 copies. You need to get more copies of this. That's obviously a given. But 2 really nice attacks, and it makes it really good here. Frenzied Gouging for 3, both of them are 3 energy, dark colorless. Frenzied Gouging, you knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If you do that way, you do 200 damage to yourself. It's at 230 HP, so it takes it down to 30. Or if you're already damaged, you might knock yourself out. But hey, you can knock out one of those big, tanky Stage 2 EXs or a VMAX. So even if you're getting yourself knocked out the next turn, it can be well worth it to take out those big, tanky Pokemon. And the other attack is pretty solid. Calamity Storm, again, 3 energy, does 100 damage. But then if you discard a stadium for play, it does 120 more. So 220 for 3. That's kind of the standard thing. Now, there has to be a stadium in play, and then you have to discard it. So if you have Path in play, and let's say you wanted to leave it to stop your opponent the next turn, but you need to do 20 damage, you got to get rid of the Path. So that's, you just have to keep that in mind. But look, very, very attractive Pokemon. Pleased to have it. We do need to do switching because we do play Dark Patch. So to get the switching to happen, there's 1 copy. There's Morpeko. You don't generally want to attack with it, but the ability in a hungry hurry. If this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost. And you know how we make that happen? We just don't attach energy to it. So super, super easy there. We have 2 copies of Brute Bonnet mainly for the Toxic Powder ability. Once during a turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached, you may make both active Pokemon poisoned. And we have 2 copies of that. We need to get some more copies as we go up the ladder, but that's there. And it does help also with HP and stuff. We'll talk about that when we get to the trainers. So nice option there to add. And poison does 10 damage at the end of the turn. You can attack for 120 for 3, but maybe on a single prizer it has value. But the main thing is to poison, and the reason we want that is it pairs with this. Here we go, the Alolan Raticate. Stage 1 here. It's for Super Fang for 3 colors energy. Obviously, we can get 3 dark energies on, but we also play the Reversal Energy. Yeah, so that on a Stage 1 evolution Pokemon without a rule box, which this is, counts as 3 energy of any type. We don't need any type, but we just need 3 energy as long as you're behind in prizes. So if you're behind in prizes, it's great. In Super Fang, you put damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. And if you poison the Pokemon, that does 10 damage at the end in between turns in Pokemon Checkup. So between Alolan Raticate and Brute Bonnet's poison, boom, you can take out any Pokemon again. So another nice way to take out big HP Pokemon, this time with just a single prizer in the act. So a 2-2 line there. And then we have engine pieces, a Radiant Greninja, which you would certainly expect, because we need to get energy to the discard pile. So concealed cards, discard energy, draw 2 cards, and then a 2-2 Bibarel line, obviously just a really nice engine. The energy count, 2 reversal energies, that only really works. It does count as a single colorless also on something like Roaring Moon EX. So at times I have used it for that, because if I just need an energy attachment, I already have the 2 dark attached, stick this on and I can pay for the attack. But usually you want to use it on your Alolan Raticate. But it only works when you're behind the prizes. So sometimes, or sometimes even if you don't know if you're behind, you attach it to the Alolan Raticate. It still counts as a colorless, and then you have to attach 2 more energies to power it up. But it still has some values, at least 1 colorless. And then 10 dark energy. That's the main thing. We need to get these dark energies in the discard pile fast, and then hopefully we can accelerate them quickly onto our Pokemon. All right, so let's just go through the trainers in order. 1 Escape Rope, we know what that does. 1 Pal Pad, shuffle 2 supporters from the discard pile into your deck. If you don't know what Escape Rope does, read it. And honestly, if you need me to explain some of these cards, just comment, put in the comments below, and I can make comment back to you, or I might start giving more explanations in the description. Right, Nest Ball is really good. Put a basic Pokemon onto your bench. Very good there. 2 research. Obviously, it's a really good card. 2 copies, you may not draw into it, but getting enough deck space is an issue, right? But obviously, and again, this is the Tier 0 build. It will get improved down the road. So 2 Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, a very wordy name. I don't know quite love the fact that it's 4 words to put the one name, but very nice tool. The Ancient Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 60 HP. Is always very nice, and particularly nice if you're doing 200 damage to yourself, I guess. And it recovers from all special conditions and can't be affected by any special conditions. So if you have, when you're poisoning with the Brute Bonnet, it poisons both active Pokemon. If you have an Ancient Pokemon in the active with an Ancient Booster Capsule, Energy Capsule attached, it doesn't get poisoned, and that is a plus as well. It protects you besides allowing you to poison the Brute Bonnet. 2 Boss's Orders, really good there. 3 Path to the Peak, shut down your opponent's abilities, but also we need stadiums in play to discard with Roaring Moon's second attack. So a lot of times we will discard the path, and you may have to decide between, do I keep the path in play, which hurts my opponent, or do I discard it to do the damage? You'll have to make those decisions on a turn-by-turn basis. 2 Ionos, very nice there. 3 Professor Sada's Vitality, really good, one of the new cards, right? An ancient card here. Choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon, attach a basic energy card from the discard pile to each of them. If you attach an energy this way, draw 3 cards. So very nice, accelerates up to 2 energy. Very nice. Hopefully we get more good ancient attackers, because it's a very nice supporter, and drawing 3 cards is very nice, and it can accelerate to the active or the bench. So super nice card there. 1 Super Rod just to recover some energy and or Pokemon. 1 Collapsed Stadium, a 4th Stadium, which again we need to play to help pay to boost the attack of Roaring Moon. But also it's very good in this deck, and maybe we should have some more copies of this. I'll have to think about it as we adjust it down the road. But what it says is each player can't have more than 4 bench Pokemon. If a player has 5 more bench Pokemon, they discard bench Pokemon until they have 4 on the bench. If you play the card, you have to play it first, the person that plays it. So if you have a Roaring Moon that's down to 30 HP because you attacked on the previous turn but managed not to get knocked out, first count yourself lucky. But then what can you do? You can get it out of play by Collapsed Stadium, by right? If you switch it to the bench, have a full bench, boom, you have to discard a Pokemon. Very nice there. 4 Dark Patch, attach a basic Dark Energy from the discard pile to one of your bench Dark Pokemon. So it doesn't have to be an ancient Pokemon here, but it can't go to the active. So we need to accelerate to the bench. So we need probably we need some more switching cards in the deck. We'll have to look at that as we evolve the deck as well. Oh, we do have the one free pivot Pokemon too. No energy, no cost, retreat. So maybe that covers us for us. 4 Ultra Ball, search for Pokemon. Very good. And of course, discard 2 cards. And we need to get those energies in the discard pile, so useful for that too. 1 switch card. And then 3 Earthen Vessel, another ancient card. This one's an item. Very nice card. I like it for this deck, but I like it for a lot of decks too, I gotta say. You can use this card only if you discard another card from hand, and discarding 1 card isn't a bad thing. And in fact, in a lot of games, you need to discard. In this deck, you do want to discard those energies, so don't feel bad about that part at all. And then you search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. So you get to put 2 basic energies into hand, 2 dark energies, of course, for this deck. Being able to search for 2 energies is a big plus, and I'm very glad for this card to be printed. It's great for this deck and other decks as well. So let's take a look at the deck in action and see what it can do. All right, we will see what we have here. Hopefully we get a game to show off the deck. Had a couple really dead hand starts, back-to-back games, I got to say. The decks had some okay games, though. Look, the build's not terrible. The Goldingo EX Tier 0 deck's close to being terrible. You really probably shouldn't play it the way it is. This deck, I mean, it still should be upgraded. There's no doubt, but it's not terrible to build, is I think fair to say. Okay, hopefully things get going quicker here. Anyway, okay, so Roaring Moon EX, but we'll see what I get. I have Iono, I have Path, those are okay. Iono up against Mew, so number of decks like Mew, you do have to be able to retreat generally, right? There's not a ton of switching, so I don't know if it's going to be a Charge. If it's Charge, I need to try to figure out, do I need to bench Path or not, right? Play Path. I don't bench it, of course. Okay, I don't need to play Path because, yeah, I'll play you down. I could attach. No, don't attach that energy. My opponent, now the problem is my opponent didn't have much either, so, wow. So this is not real good. And I will just end turn. Now, with the Professor Sada, I could accelerate one energy. No, it accelerates from the discard pile, and I have nothing in the discard pile energy-wise. So, we will see what happens here. Okay. All right, so a fighting deck, that's okay. They're weak, so they're weak to grass. That doesn't matter. I'm weak to grass too, so yeah, okay. See what happens. Another Mew, a Mew with a fancy art there. So they get to use the second Mew, right? The switch card. Obviously now they have to, the odds of them getting this Mew out of the active are reduced, so that's okay, right? Using resources, right? Obviously it gets some things. Rod, okay. I mean, they don't need Rod at this point, but you always grab something just to thin, right? Okay, Nest Ball. Nest Ball is good. I guess I grab Radiant Greninja because that gives me, I haven't used, that gives me the chance to attack this turn. Okay, that's not what I wanted at all. And I just passed there, I guess. So, end turn. But I have one energy there, so which is good, right? I need that to Dark Patch or Professor Sada. Obviously, I want to get a second energy there for the Professor Sada. Okay, they got the Ultra Ball, so they can evolve this turn. And we'll see how things go here. All right, getting rid of Bidoof and a fighting energy. That's fine. We're both going real slow. I don't know how. This deck is obviously not optimized, so slow starts are going to happen more than sometimes. Okay, so the Garchomp. So what's this Garchomp do? Let me see. I'm actually accelerates energy with 160, and they can discard 2, and it does 120 to any. Okay, all right. So the nice thing is I can blow them up this turn. So if they don't get anything else set up, I'm gonna knock myself out, right? I will knock myself out. But I think that's what I gotta do here, right? I mean, I've got to. Well, if I don't draw, let me think. So at this point, I can use. All right. Well, that's very awkward, right? No. Okay. Oh, that's all right. I was going to use him. The nice thing is, right, if they had hit into me, I would have been knocked out next turn, right? Because I'm going to use my big attack. I'm going to blow you up. You only have one card in hand, so that's not terrible, right? Do I want to just... I guess I draw some energies. All right, I'm going to put this energy in the discard pile, right? The basic, because I could use the rod, too. Let's just take a peek. Do I have... Okay, my other... Roaring Moon EX is there. Professor Sada. Okay. All right. I mean, I just need to get some pieces. That's what needs to happen here. So, but I'm going to blow him up. 30. What do I think? Is there a chance that they can one-shot me? All right, I'm going to do this because I am a little concerned that if I go down to 30 HP, there are obviously, like if they can attack with Mew, I don't know if they have the ability to do that. But I don't want to take that risk because I have to attack with him. I do 100. I do blow up a Mew or a Bibarel, Bidoof. So I can take out the basic. If they get one basic into play, I do have boss, so that's good too. I should probably attach the Alolan Rattata. Now, to make his attack effective, you gotta poison, which means you've gotta attach the tool to, what is it, Brute Bonnet, I think. And I only play 2 tools in the deck, I do believe, and I've now used one of them. So, yeah. So let's see what they get down. I think they researched this turn, right? So get down another Gibble. Makes sense there. So I want to gust up the Gibble. I mean, that's pretty basic to me. And I want to attach an energy, I guess, to the Alolan Rattata. And I don't think reversal makes it. Well, I might as well attach the reversal, right? I need the 3, but they don't need to be all dark, I don't think. So, wow, this is not good. This is not going well, but this is what we do. We just got to slow them down, right? Keep them from doing anything to me. So, boom. Okay. 2 decks not doing all. Now, look, the one thing this shows is the power of the Roaring Moon in this matchup, right? Of that frenzied gouging. The fact that I blew up I one-shot a Pokemon with 320 HP, right? That's really good without being weak. Took 3 energy, but that's hey, one-shotting a 300 plus HP Pokemon obviously is a big deal. I make myself very vulnerable to being one-shot, but now with but with the boss, I kept them from taking a prize the following turn, so I'm up 2 prizes. And I got the concede, right? Because I was going to take another prize. I was going to, I was going to I was going to take my 4th prize the next turn, almost guaranteed. But so look, obviously my opponent bricked, but I was able to win. So that does show the deck can get going. It did show some of the potential of that big KO there. All right, hopefully we get a nice game here to show things off. You never know. But we hopefully do. The deck it's built is not as consistent as you'd like, which makes sense. It's the tier 0 build. You kind of need. Well, you either need to have the deck set up pretty optimally for considering what the 60 is, or have your opponent struggle. Last game, my opponent struggled. All right, so I can put more Pico with free retreat, right? It's nice in this deck. I don't know if you want to keep it in the list long term or not. Once you start to really, you do need a pivot. Is this the best pivot? Maybe. I don't know. All right, so I have 2 Pokemon I can bench. Sada's Vitality can accelerate to the Brute Bonnet. I don't really love. Okay. So Terrakion. Okay. So this is. I want to get him down. I guess I need to Iono here, right? Because I need to make something happen. I think I want to get a Roaring Moon down. And then I need to Iono. If I had energy in hand, I would discard it with the Earthen Vessel. I could get an energy with Earthen Vessel, but I'd like to try to get multiple energies accelerated. Okay, I'm getting 1 accelerated, so It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best thing, obviously. So end turn there. So Terrakion, he's scary. He is scary. He's prevents all damage from attacks. Now I can use my big attack here to blow him up. I can do that. Look, first it's an effect of the attack, right? So, okay, so I need to, and they played path, so I can't play my path, which would have been good because it would have thinned me down some. All right, so I can't bump path with this deck, right? I don't think I have any other. Do I have another stadium? Don't think so. Oh, I have Collapsed Stadium, but all right, I'm going to assume I won't hit that. So what do I want to get down? I'll get down the Rattata. I think I'll have to look at the text on that evolution. Right? Does he does Terrakion's effect stop that? I could have used the Pal Pad, but I figured I wanted to use that still. All right, I will just end turn there. Now I can bump path as well, right, with my attack. So that's out there as well for sure. But the evolution one, he reduces the HP to 10 or something. What's it say here? Put damage counters on. So it's not damaging, it's putting damage counters on. So I do think he will work, right? That's what I think here. So I will attach. I will retreat. Do I want to leave the state? And I think I'm going to leave the stadium in play here, right? What's the supporter? Just one Iono. So I'll just draw the one card. I could get rid of the path and the Pal Pad, but okay, so that's okay. So what do I want to get down here? I think I want to start getting another Roaring Moon set up. Let's do that. I'm not quite certain about that play, but I will retreat. I'm going to bump the stadium here, though. So which means, because I want to get the knockout. So right. So knock him out before it can attack. So right, that immunity to damage is only an effect of the attack. So, and of course you can rope to get out of that too and things. So we'll see what type of turn they can pull off. So now they can use the Radiant Greninja. So that's a downside. Why? Okay, I guess the red arrow was on it because it they had already had declared to use it. It was weird because it was sitting there on the bench with the red arrow, and the red arrow should have been signaling that the ability was used. Okay. So I get to take another knockout. I'm not quite sure why they attached energy to the active. I will play the reversal. I'm going to toss down the path, shut them down there. I think I want to. Yeah, I don't really need. I want to get rid of some I want to thin here some, right? I'll get rid of the Rattata. I have one. I don't think I need two for this game. Toss the Pal Pad. I don't want anybody down because he's already evolved. The others are basics that don't evolve and don't want to fill things up in my hand. Okay. Well. Okay, so I'm going to need to discard a card. So I'm going to get rid of. Oh no! Don't get rid of that. Get rid of the research. Grab the 2 energies. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. You're going to use the Ultra Ball. Get rid of the 2 energies. That way I have energies for Sada, right? Don't want a Pokemon. Again, I just want to. Okay, so now I can Sada, and I'm going to. I want to power him up, and I'll put an energy on Brute Bonnet too. I don't need energy on the active, of course. Okay, and I get some cards. Cards are good too, and that's all right. I'm gonna get some more energy here. I don't think I attach per turn, right? So because I want to keep powering up my next Roaring Moon. Oh, I guess I did attach per turn, so that which is fine. And I don't want to bump the stadium path. There's two reasons I don't bump path. First off, three. I don't need it. Okay, if I needed it, I would have bumped it. Maybe there's just two. And then secondly, path. What I don't need it. Two, I might need it in the future, so I want to keep it there to get that extra 120 in a future turn because eventually I can run out of stadiums. And then three, it shuts down the Radiant Greninja, and they don't have much going on. So that's the biggest reason was that last one because the Radiant Greninja probably was a card they desperately needed. So again, hey, the deck won. My opponent didn't set up well. There's no doubt about that. But the pieces came together once again. All right, let's see what happens. See if we get a good game to show the deck off or not. The deck's okay. I have some games where the deck is okay. Already recorded, so I'm not desperate for a video. Sometimes I played for a couple hours with the deck, and all I've got is garbage. To either I don't set up, my opponent doesn't set up, or my opponent just stops playing in the middle of the game, even in a competitive game. Those all things happen, right? It's not fun showing a game. Like right now, I have some games where my opponent doesn't set up well, and I prefer not to do that. But honestly, this is not a top deck. It certainly needs improvement. It's not terrible, and it does show some of what the deck can do in those games anyway. So, okay. So, one mulligan. Okay, obviously, I don't have free retreat on the active, but I want to... I don't know. It's not great, right? We'll see what happens here. So I'm going first, and I'm not doing much, right, is what I would say. I guess I play Path to the Peak here, right, because they want to use this ability. I assume. So they want to get things in the discard pile. We'll see what they're playing. Haven't seen a Galarian Articuno in a while, so always nice to see something a little different. It is good. You want to get cards in the discard pile. It's good. You discard 2 to draw 1, which is generally a pretty terrible ability, but you do want to get cards in the discard pile. Earthen Vessel does give us another way to discard things, but so Squawkabilly. Okay, so but they can't use that either unless they can bump my stadium. So that this could if they. So Mew EX. I mean, I love all these red down arrows, right? At this point, they have all these great abilities. They can't use any of them. So that's quite nice, right? Very okay. So rope, not great. I mean, I didn't get any energy attached. So now I have 2 Dark Patch, and I can't use them. I have Professor Sada. I can't use that. Mew has free retreats. So, right now I'm looking at doing nothing next turn, though. So, which is not a good feeling. But we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, I got nothing. So there we go. Path to the Peak, just shut down my opponent. I had nothing. Honestly, this is one. If they kept playing, I was thinking I might need to concede next turn or two because I had nothing also. So I'm just going to close at that. The deck, I've been running into a lot of people bricking. That was pretty much the ultimate brick. Although, look, hey, I can give the deck some credit. It does play Path, and the Path works. So the deck's okay. It's not optimized, obviously, but it's playable, is what I'd say. So don't be afraid to give it a try. And I'm just going to close things out with a little pack opening here. I got 5 packs, so that's tier 5. You always get on those multiples of 5, you get more things. So let's take a look at what I got. I'll kind of go through this quickly. Can stop watching if you want. Oh, I'm really close to 500 subscribers. I want to say, okay, so that gives me, I think I now have a 4/4 line of Goldingo. So that's really nice. Special arts, that's fine. I'm about at 500, so I really want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed. If you like even some of the videos on the channel, please subscribe. It really is a encouragement to me. Let me just look at this top 4. Okay, not a very good supporter there. The Rika or Rika. Okay, so getting close to 500, which is really really terrific. It helps promote the channel, gets it just recommended to more people. Which if you like it, the content, then hopefully you want to see other people start watching it too. And it's a big encouragement to me. I'm really thankful. So Zatu, this one I do want. Once during your turn, may attach a basic Psychic from your hand to your bench Pokemon. If you do, you draw 2 cards. So the same thing as Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, but on a single prizer. So that's a nice little option for decks. I did that was on my wish list, so glad to hit that. Okay. So let's see. Start going a little quicker here. So anyway, just thank you for everyone subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. I do appreciate it. And again, thank you to everyone there. So, okay. Tapu Koko EX. All right, a little fancy art there. Golisopod. All right, 2 more packs. So, the rewards on the ladder, the one good thing about Live, and Live has had another bad week with some updates that made the game unplayable for a bunch of people. People that haven't, some people have more problems on a regular basis. Some of it might be some regions, parts of the world are prone, and other things too. But people weren't able to log in for multiple days after an update, and that's just it's just not real good. As well as, quite frankly, in my opinion, they made the visuals worse in the game by the jagged lines don't look as nice. When I play it to evolve, prevent all damage and effects to this Pokemon at the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's very nice. You can attack with Tulip. I don't know. It's an intriguing one, is what I'll say. I got to try and do something with the Espathra. I don't know it's gonna be good. I got it's fair to say, but so there we go. Got a bunch of cards, 33 cards, and some coins. Yippee! And then a few credits as well. So glad to be progressing up the ladder. Look forward to getting those tier 0 decks fully upgraded. Once I get to tier 14, I can do the 1 in 16, the Roaring Moon, and hopefully your day's going well. Take care.